I used to do security for a small resort up in the mountains. It wasn't a luxurious place, just a few cabins spread out over several acres, mostly used by hikers and families looking to escape the city for a weekend. The job was easy. I patrolled at night, made sure no one got into trouble, and kept an eye on the trails leading into the surrounding forest. One night, around 2 a.m., I was making my usual rounds when I heard something strange, a faint whistle echoing through the trees. It wasn't a bird or an animal, it was deliberate, human. A slow, eerie tune, like someone was casually walking through the woods whistling to themselves. I stopped in my tracks, scanning the dark tree line with my flashlight. Nothing. Just silence. I figured it was a hiker who had wandered too far, so I radioed my partner back at the main office. "Hey, you hear that?" I asked. There was a pause. Then his voice crackled back through the static. "Hear what?" "That whistling." Another pause. Then, "I don't hear anything, man." I turned off my radio and stood there, listening. The whistling had stopped. The forest was dead silent again, like whatever had made the sound knew I was paying attention. I shrugged it off and continued my patrol. About half an hour later, I was looping back toward the cabins when I saw something that made my stomach drop. There, standing at the edge of the forest, was a man. He was tall, unnaturally tall, maybe 6'5" or more. He wore what looked like an old, tattered coat, and his posture was stiff, almost unnatural. He was just standing there, half hidden behind a tree, staring at one of the cabins. I couldn't see his face clearly, but I knew he was looking at something, or someone, inside. I raised my flashlight. "Hey, this is private property," I called out. No reaction. I started walking toward him, my hand resting on the baton strapped to my belt. But as soon as I took a step, the man moved, fast. He ducked behind the tree, and by the time I got there, he was gone. Just disappeared into the trees. I radioed my partner again. "There's someone out here. I just saw him watching one of the cabins." "I'll check the cameras," he said. I waited, staring into the dark forest, my pulse hammering in my ears. Then my radio crackled again. "Dude, there's nothing on the cameras." I knew he was wrong. I had seen that man. I stayed on edge for the rest of the night, circling the area, but I never saw him again. No footprints, no sounds, just an eerie, unsettling feeling like I was being watched. The next morning, I went to the family staying in the cabin the man had been staring at. It was a mom, a dad, and their young daughter. I asked if they had noticed anything strange. The dad shook his head, but the little girl, maybe 6 years old, spoke up. "There was a man outside my window last night," she said. My blood went cold. Her parents looked at her, confused. "What do you mean, sweetie?" her mom asked. The girl just shrugged. "He was really tall, and he was smiling at me." I quit my job a few weeks later.